Let's bring in Paul Mauro, retired NYPD inspector and founder of opsdesk.org, and Darrin Porcher, former NYPD lieutenant and U.S. Army veteran. Great to have both of you with us. We're living in a different world. I mean, and it feels like you can trace a lot of this back to that horrible day. Darrin, let me start with you. And Derek Chauvin and what happened to George Floyd. And it's like so many things started to unravel. Now in Minneapolis, they have a sign on the door. If you need help, call 911, because they don't have enough police officers to man the precinct because they have to be out on the road. What has happened?
This is a travesty, to say the least. And when we go back to the death of George Floyd, we had the city council that voted to defund the police. Be careful for what you wish for, because you may get it. So as a result of that, criminals acted with impunity, and then you saw a meteoric rise in crime. It was the actual citizens of Minneapolis that sued the city council because they wanted greater funding to go to the police. It reigns to the testament of this defund police slogan was clearly a failure. The Democrats lost a lot of the down-ballot elections as it relates to this defund police slogan. So as we move forward, we fast forward to now, we see that this has been a catastrophic failure. And now, how do we repair that and respect and uplift these communities, because we need to uphold the social contract? You know, one of the things that we have a wall that shows police officers who were in situations where someone died and they were prosecuted, they were kicked out of the force. Okay, Derek Chauvin obviously is one of them. There are a lot of other examples on this wall as well, including the 5 Memphis officers who were just indicted over Tyree Nichols' death. As you can see on this wall, they are all different colors. They are of all different backgrounds, right? And if these individuals are guilty, Derek Chauvin's already been obviously prosecuted. He's in prison likely for the rest of his life. You know, Paul, there have always been bad cops, right? There are bad priests, there are bad cops, there are bad Boy Scout leaders, there are bad people in the world. But we were told back then that it had to do with law enforcement. And it degraded the profession to the point where now we have people who don't want to do it anymore because they were told, wow, I don't want to be a bad cop. I don't want to be swept with that brush.
That's right. So every department in the country is short cops. And here's the difference this time around, Martha, if I may. It's been institutionalized this time. They knew what they were doing, and so they put it through legislatively. And we're not calling out the legislators that have put this through. Let's take New York as an example. The problems we have in New York: raise the age, the bail reform, the probation and parole reform, where there's just no
consequences.
No consequences for not showing up at your parole hearing. Those things have been institutionalized by the legislature, and there's nothing the cops or even the prosecutors can do. Now, the prosecutors, of course, have played into this. They're fellow travelers. They've taken entire statutes off the books. So in order to fix this, it's a lot larger an issue than just saying, OK, let's flip the switch and let's start to prosecute and come down on some of these things. Chicago, they're a victim of Illinois. Pritzker just signed a legislation called the Safety Act that institutionalizes all of this stuff statewide. California, I don't have to tell you about. It obtains across the board in all those major cities. Why? Because the state did it. So as you say, there's no consequences. To change this stuff, you're going to need elections. You're going to need legislators that can actually get on board. It's a lot heavier lift. They knew what they were doing. They concretized it in law. And as a result, it's not that easy to change.
Yeah. So, you know, Darrin, now that you have people all across the media talking about this, and you have this woman who I think is a great example of this. Her name is Shivanthi Sathanandan. She was carjacked in her driveway. They hit her in the head. She took a photograph of herself bleeding. Back when we had the George Floyd tragedy happen, she was all over Facebook. We have to defund the police. We have to get rid of the police force completely. Now she's saying, apprehend these young men who did this to me. They need to be behind bars.
Is this a statement of hypocrisy? Absolutely. You also have to understand police are functioning in an ecosystem of acrimony against the profession. And police are leaving at mass numbers based on this level of acrimony. So when we speak to the testament of this individual that was diametrically opposed to policing, but now she's looking to embrace policing, it now begs the question of, hey, what side of the fence are you on? It's okay if you have a dislike towards police, but at the same token, you need to respect police, and it's that disrespect that's driving police officers to leave the force. And as my counterpart mentioned, legislatively, there are a lot more things that can be done, but they're not being done. The legislators are turning a blind eye when we look at people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the other extreme left-wing politicians. They're really driving a sentiment that's not making a young person willing to step forward and become a cop. And as a result, it's really putting us in a very bad place.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.